Because I'm like literally on the channel. The broadcast is live, right? I'll tell you if it comes up.
Yes. Let me see if we're live.
Because when I was trying it out on Facebook, it came up afterwards. Like once I stopped, it was like he was live. I was like,
I was live.
oh yeah, it's working. It's quick.
Yeah,
It's working.
come up.
Wow.
All right, guys.
Right.
Live. I am back. I'm corona free.
Sure.
Hey, listen, you got it first. Don't even try it. You had it from when you left. You brought it from Birmingham. You came all the way down here. You gave it to me, and then you went back up there. Like, don't even try.
Had the flu. There's a difference.
Exactly. No,
but yeah, we're back, full effect. The broadcast number 2. The first one we got some good feedback on the first one me and Kareem did, and then I thought I'd introduce. What do you want to go by, Renee or Jade or Tiger Queen?
It's fine. I might forget midway and be like, "Who's the guy?" That's me. But yeah, it's all that. Oh, look at that! That's not so really fine.
just make sure the music's not too loud. Yeah, man.
But yeah, I was gonna get into basically how do you guys first go about contacting models? What's your guys like method or creating in general?
Who wants to go first?
Ladies first.
Okay. So I think like it's usually like Instagram and stuff nowadays. So when I was at university, we used to use the actual students. So obviously we'd use like the fashion models and stuff who wanted to model their fashion pieces. We'd just go down like literally it was like the floor below, go down in that way. So it was like more interacting with somebody face to face. Whereas now it's like a lot of the time people will reach out to you also. So it's more now I feel like it's more through Instagram and like platforms like that where people are connecting like for this kind of thing, which obviously isn't really the norm, but that's
I think it's weird now because it's like I don't even have a website. Like literally big brands, verified ticks will DM me a full conversation, business, like full business, like the money, everything through a DM now. Like not even emails anymore. Like it's just like straight DMs. I'm like, what's the point of me having a website anymore? Like, don't click on it. I've never had in like nearly 10 years of photography. I think 2 people have contacted me through my website.
It's weird as well because on Instagram you've got your email attached, but you find that like, people just completely ignore it and they just kind of like they'll report it through messaging, through a DM, and obviously as well if you're not even like connected with them, it gets like lost. But then they begin to risk that just because it's like I think it's because it's easy. Like,
exactly. People are so instantaneous these days that it's like I get it because to be honest, I probably do the same thing. Like I use DMs a lot. Even if it's like people will put like contact to me by email, I just think I may as well DM you quickly and just do you know what I mean? Just for efficiency purposes, but at the same time, I think it's good to have like a website and email there, so it's like got that quote unquote professionalism. You know what I mean? So people can see, oh, like you are contactable and like have like a portfolio and that type of thing there and ready. But mainly, through Insta, really, I'd say.
Yeah, I think it's just literally because of the ease. Like if you kind of you're scrolling and you see like someone that you want to work with, or you see like a photographer you like, you see a model that you think would like benefit for what you're doing. It's just like it's a quick, easy button to press. Like okay, message and the message done.
Yeah.
And I think with Instagram, people kind of lose the fear also, like because people are so used to hopping a DM, like it's not as scary to be rejected almost. So it's like people don't mind not being replied to or whatever because it's just the norm for Instagram. Whereas through an email, you probably be a little bit more like, did I just get ignored through my like sappy?
People I know literally DM for that exact reason. Like they don't want to get ahead. Like they don't want to get left on scene. That's
Yeah.
like, oh, how do you get contact like a big model or something like that? I'm just like, just shoot a DM. Like they're either gonna say yes. I mean, yeah, they're gonna might ignore it, but it's either gonna be a yes or no.
Yeah, I think you can see if they've like actually read it, so you'll know as well whether they have just blanked you, whether they're actually working with you. Oh no!
Popping off the dreaded
I can't even cop anymore, man. Jeez, it's dusty.
Yeah, I think it's that as well. So like, obviously, if I've seen someone's completely ignored it, then actually I won't contact them again. So it's like, as like doing photos of projects, if I've reached out to someone for something legit and they've ignored it, then I'll be like, okay, I don't want to work with them. So it's like.
But I think there's a misconception that people don't contact like bigger models because they feel like they're not going to see it because they got like hundreds of thousands of followers. They must get loads of DMs. I have to let everyone know all models see all their DMs. Like they see majority of their DMs. Like I've DM'd one fitness model. She's from like Amsterdam. She's got about 600k, but she's like one of the most popular like fitness models out there. Yeah. And then I DM'd her like 10 minutes. She replied. Yeah. And that was when I only had like probably at 4,000 or 5,000. So I'm like, so obviously saw my page. I'm not like messing her about. You know what I mean? It's just like you just need to. And the thing is, like, I have a strategy as well. It's just almost like I shoot up people that I see are influential. Like I don't like if it's gonna be a collab. I'll make sure it's someone that has some sort of like influence. Like, don't know how to word it. It's weird because like I have my own little technique to finding like to shooting someone, but knowing it's gonna get me someone else bigger from shooting them.
Well, this is another thing I was going to touch upon is like association. Like it's not just like doing cold DMing to anybody. It's like it's speaking with like a certain type of look or style that fits within the realm of your kind of community or what you're used to kind of doing, because then they can see from your page like that you're not all over the place. You know what I mean?
I feel like because as well a lot of the time if a model has like an Instagram that's a modeling, it's like a portfolio. So obviously like they put that out there so that you do contact them, whether it be by the email they've got or the DM. Actually they've got like their Instagram is their portfolio for you to kind of see what they do. And like even with the hashtags they might pick, so as a photographer you might put a hashtag in that kind of suits your genre and get the models that suit it also. So it's like everyone's on the same page kind of thing. So it's just I think it's just for ease. Like people can use it as a platform for certain things. Like I use Instagram for kind of like inspo really for like shoots as well as looking for models things like that. It will be for like shoots in general or just creative ideas. Like you use it for that anyway. So like people use their pages as their platform for what they want it to be. Like if you're a model, you're going to use it for modeling. If you're a photographer, you're going to use it for photography. Like it's just kind of like people's portfolios anyway, as well as being like a personal thing also.
I think there's one thing that I think that photographers who maybe feel a little bit reluctant or a bit uncomfortable about approaching people and asking to work with them, I think what they kind of misunderstand is like the art of just like we're on social media, so we need to use it and be social, not just like you say. It's great to get inspiration and kind of like other people's photos and support them, but the social aspect, I feel like a lot of people don't realize how powerful it actually is to just have a conversation with other people. Like, if you end up liking a particular model and you see a common ground, like for me, that's always helped, like having a common ground with a model, as opposed to just going, I want to shoot you. Like, we just build a relationship over time as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I get that. So,
I find a lot of models don't follow back until we work with them. Like certain ones do, but like the big ones, they don't really follow you until like like you work with them first. But like going back to like the association thing, it's just like when I worked with one model, she had like 2 million followers or something like that. When she then posted my work, another model saw it. She has 10 million, but she's from LA as well. So do you know what I mean? So it's like now working with this big model, another model that's even bigger, which may have been the goal because I wanted to go to. I've never been LA, but I want to go LA because there's a bunch of people over there I need to shoot. And then it was just like, so it's just like, and it's like I've been following that girl model's account. Not like I've been like not like I don't think I follow her now, but I've been watching her from I've been like 20, so I'm like 26 now. Do you know what I mean? So I've been following her journey, thinking, oh, I'm never gonna shoot someone that big, and then this person DMs me. I'm just like, hey, what happened here? Like, do you know what I mean? Like the shift is, but it's like you have to put yourself in a position to get contacted by those sort of people. Do you know what I mean? So it's like,
I think it's a trust.
you might find a model on Instagram that's great. Like if you're also a hobbyist, that's fine. But if you like want to progress, just shooting every Tom, Dick, and Harry isn't gonna get you. You know what I mean? Isn't gonna get you places. You have to shoot someone that you like the look of. That's your style, but also has an influence that other people that are also gonna see that and think, oh, they've shot this person. Okay, that means I can shoot with them now. And then that's how you get bigger and bigger people to shoot with.
It's almost like a trust thing, but I feel like obviously it's like with a brand, for example, like if a brand has like a look or whatever and it follows through for all their socials and things like that, you trust in the brand. And when the brand has like big kind of like influencers and things like that, you'll trust in the product. And it's the same with photographer. So for me, like obviously I've done kind of like modeling and photography as well. But it's as a photographer, like I know, okay, like my work and I know like what I do, but then I look to kind of your Instagram pages and things like that to see if I can trust in you. And it comes the same for like me as a photographer wanting to collaborate with other photographers. Like I would reach out to people that I feel are legit or like who kind of, I don't know, like who have worked with like good people and things like that. And that would be based on what is actually on their profile because it is a trust thing. And I think as a model, if you're reaching out to a model and like messaging in the DMs, like I'm sure they probably get that like a lot of people, especially the big ones, they're going to get a lot of people saying, I'm a photographer, let's chat, let's do some photos, and actually it's just somebody wanting to date them or get in their pants. So at the same time, it's like they're going to look at your portfolio and what you can do and who you've worked with. And it might be a case of, they blank you until they see you working with somebody who actually they know, because it's that trust thing again. Because at the end of the day, especially with females, like you don't want to put yourself in a vulnerable position with somebody who actually hasn't worked with anyone, who like they could be the nicest person in the world, but at the same time they can kill you. Like you don't know. So you're putting yourself in a vulnerable position when you're replying or answering. So it's like, I think it's a trust thing. So with the portfolio and stuff like that, like I was saying before, like having all those images and working with those people makes you more trustworthy.
You know, it's weird. It's like when, like a few years ago, even my mom asked me, "Don't you come with anybody?" I'm like, probably like 10 years, nearly 10 years. I think maybe less than that. One handful of girls have actually come with someone on the shoot, and I realized it's like, bro, if I wasn't actually who I said I was, or if I was a creep, or you know what I mean, like. It would, do you know what I mean? Like it just would have been that it could be very dangerous for models. And it's just weird that no one's like actually asked like for their own safety. They've just like trusted. They've just like trusted me. I mean, I have a very trustworthy page, I admit, but at the same time, like if it was me, if I was like obviously even if I was a male model going to model Calvin Klein's, like. Even I'd want to know, like, okay, well, who's going to be there, sort of thing. Even a big guy like me, I'd still be wondering who the hell's going to be there while I'm there in my Calvin. But, you know what I mean? I don't know.
I suppose it depends on your brand, doesn't it? Like, for me, like, I make sure that I'm showing people a little bit of my personal lifestyle on my Instagram, for example, on social media, because I want people to know that I am approachable and they get a bit of context about who I am quickly. But then, like you said, if you've got a certain reputation in terms of models or brands that you've worked with and things like that, then that again still kind of creates that trust and that security in someone's mind, doesn't it? So Hand in hand.
Yeah, like on my personal page, it's like I've got videos and things like that, kind of just me speaking and things, just so that people know I'm a real person and that actually like the person in the pictures is me and stuff like that. And I think like for photographers, it's the same kind of thing. So it's like actually you guys might have your YouTubes and things like that, and that's something for me. I'm a researcher, but a lot of people aren't, and they will put themselves in dangerous positions because actually they're not researching who's talking to them. So in that sense, you do go to the ones who have the bigger followings, unfortunately, and you do like kind of the people who have worked with the bigger models because you trust in that. So you're like, okay, they've worked with this person, they've done this, they've got the YouTube, they've got all like feedback from all these people, that I know that I'm safe. And it is like nowadays, a lot of people kind of put themselves in these positions where they're no longer safe and bad things happen and word spreads. So at the same time, it's like people trying to protect themselves when they're working with certain photographers over others, I feel.
Have you, as a model, had bad experience?
So like people, there will be people all the time who have messaged me and said about, oh yeah, let's do a shoot. And like I said, like obviously I do photography in the background, people don't realise. So my personal page is my personal page, but then I work for clients and have loads of different like basically tasks to do for different things, different brands, but people don't know that. So they'll just kind of approach me being like, oh yeah, like do this shoot and, you know, like do modelling for this, this and this. And I am no like big time model at all, but like, you know, I give it a go. But some people will message and then me being me, I'll look at their pages and then I'll kind of just be like, you're not a photographer at all. So then all of a sudden it will be about like people, I don't know, like they just kind of go off on one and like then it's you kind of realise that actually they didn't even message you for any type of shoot. It's to sell you a dream in order to date you or get in your pants, like I said, like and it pisses me off, like because it's like I'm serious and I want to like obviously do what I'm doing, collaborate with the right people. I'm not about wasting my time, and I don't think people who are seriously into photography are either. But I'm not a big established photographer either. Like, I'm just like, you know, just a normal photographer. And it's like, it's people like that that make it hard for people like me to then collaborate with people, or because the trust again is just lost because of these idiots who kind of use it to their advantage in a completely wrong way.
Well, that's the thing. I think it's about making sure that if we are creating something together and it's actually going to be a mutual gain and we've got clarity of like what we're going to get and what the outcome is, because I find that, like you say, if you
turn your music off because it's overpowered. Yeah.
Has it gone louder? Yeah. 2 seconds.
It's gonna get detected.
But yeah, I feel like that's something that is always something I think early on about, is like the person I'm working with, are they feeling that I am a photographer that they like? Is my style in line with their brand, and what's our end goal? Because it doesn't mean that we need to have some big high end goal, but it just has to be like mutually understandable. Do you know what I mean? Before doing it.
Yeah.
We got a question. What's your advice for this? Just getting started, who hasn't built their portfolio yet? Like to get more.
Yeah, so this happened to me like for university, obviously, and in that sense, I literally worked with friends and I worked with people that I kind of knew, or I collaborated with like other photographers and things like that. So that's why I said, like, obviously, I'm not a big time model or anything like that by any means, but people used to kind of work with me within the uni to take the photos, because at the end of the day, photographers know their lighting, they know what they're doing. So at the same time, it was like kind of good little collaboration to kind of jump in as a model sometimes. So you'd be like, work with your friends. If you're a good photographer, you're going to get a good picture of somebody at the end of the day. And the more that you do it, the better kind of quality you'll get. And then the more that actually you'll get that kind of trust and that platform of all these photos that you're building. And that model might reach out to you. You might not even need to reach out to them. But once you've built that kind of portfolio, then you can start to reach out to people and they will get that trust. And I think as well, like YouTube and things like that, you can show that you're like a legit person and that you're passionate about what you do, and that will give somebody kind of insight into the fact that you're not like these people who are lying about it or trying to just get something that's not legit.
I'd say even where me and Kareem went, like photography mates, isn't it? Like that will be the best place to build a portfolio and just get loads of pictures. Like, what when we were doing like the photography meetups, there'll be someone that will say, "Yeah, I'm about today." Like every day, someone was about,
Yeah.
and
Exactly.
then 2, 3 models, and then 8 other photographers would come along during like literally like
Yeah.
nearly every day for what
Yeah.
at least a year. We were out shooting
Mm.
at night time, morning, doesn't matter. There was every day we were shooting something, and there'll be a bunch of models, and then there'll be a bunch of photographers.
Yeah.
Everyone at that point were all beginners and
Yeah.
Mhm.
new to it, and everyone was just about. We wasn't well, we're all from London, apart from Renee,
Mm.
but we were, but we was all about London.
Yeah.
Just every location you could think of, trying different techniques and just getting better at photography, and then that's how everyone found their lane, and
Mhm.
everyone literally progressed from there.
Yeah.
And it's about creating like that mini community in itself, like
Yeah.
saying to each other, "Oh, I'm going to be shooting today. Does anyone want to shoot? Is any
Yeah.
models available?" Like building that ecosystem, and I think, to be honest with you, I feel like that's kind of slowed down. And like personally, maybe I've kind of just been going on my own lane and forgot about that. But to be honest, being through what we're going through right now, where everyone's so isolated, it definitely makes you appreciate the community aspect,
Yeah.
like, and miss that more. You know what I mean? So
Because I
definitely
think,
would promote that.
because I think as well, like it is like there's photographers wanting to build a portfolio, but there's also models wanting to build theirs. So at the same time, it is you can collaborate with each other in order to build yourselves up. Like obviously at the
Exactly.
moment, it's rubbish because that's out of the window. But you still could be communicating with people. You still could be trying
Exactly. Planning.
when this is finished, and it could be a good chance for you as well to grab your camera. Like I've got all my camera equipment here with me. I've got all my ring lights in my room. My room's turned into a studio now, so it's kind of like practice, like keep practicing and make yourself kind of known. And even if you're shooting like objects for now, like at least you're getting the practice in to kind of build your portfolio when this kind of dies down and you can go back to doing what you love.
Exactly. So whilst we're on that topic then, so what are you guys thinking to do over like the next, say, few weeks, photography wise then? What's your going to be your focus?
I just want to fly out. That's all I want to do. Like that was literally my business plan for 2020 anyway.
Yeah.
So I was gonna have like loads of like, obviously me and Renee we planned one for, where was it? It was Ibiza, right?
Yeah, it was. I'm gutted.
The most amazing villa. Oh my goodness.
It was literally we saw
That villa was so nice.
Wow. So yeah, we were gonna have it was gonna be amazing. Like obviously I wanted to shoot all the behind the scenes and stuff like that and like kind of show an insight into the projects that we do. And unfortunately the outbreak happened and kind of destroyed it. But now what I'm thinking to myself is like there's skills that I still want to touch on. So actually yes, I do photography, but so I'm in social media marketing, and it's all like videography, photography, like all of that stuff, the behind the scenes and all of that. So in that sense, I've decided that I'm going back to school. So there's online courses at the moment that actually are free for like a month or two or like whatever. And I thought actually there's skills that I want to like kind of make stronger. So in this I could use this time to do that, and I can kind of get on those courses, like strengthen all my skills, because our excuse a lot of the time is we don't have the time to do it.
True.
So it's now like a lot of people, I get it, it's classic. People have been like furloughed, people have lost jobs. Like I completely understand that. I'm fortunate to still have a job because I chose an online platform. But in that like you can get creative within this time. Like I said, like I've got all the ring lights and things like that in my room, like I'm going to be shooting and things or whatever. But you can explore things that you kind of didn't have time to before. Like I said the other day, I was like, I'm going to get a guitar because I've always wanted to learn guitar. And then I was like, okay, no, actually I should strengthen kind of skills that I want within the job that I want to do. Yeah. I think now it's kind of like, although it is a crazy time, and although it is a horrible time for some people, I I think it's time to actually question: is the job that you're in like what you really wanted to do? Is there actually something else that you want to go into instead? Is there something else that you do for a passion that you have, and explore it?
Yeah, in a bit. Yeah. Yeah, I'll be down in a minute. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna have to get going in a minute. Yes, because I've been literally like holding back the dinner meal. But yeah, when are we gonna do this next? Do you reckon? Next few weeks?
Whenever, really.
Yeah. Okay. Well, in next time I'll try and plan ahead to make sure I've got like a.
You'll eat beforehand.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna have to get going now. Actually, just not hold anyone up because my baby's gonna have to go to bed as well, like in a sec. So.
Okay.
Yeah, Renee, nice chatting and meeting you, virtually meeting you.
I know.
And Adrian, I'll catch up with you soon, bro.
Yes, later.
All right, take care.
And then there are two.
Then there are two.
What were we saying?
Yes, I was just saying, like, obviously, I think within this time now, like, we had a plan and we kind of knew we were like getting creative. We were like, we know what we want to do. And obviously, that now has kind of, it's had to be put on hold. It's not completely out the window because it's something obviously I really want to do when this is finished. But at the moment, I personally have just kind of thought, like, what can I do that I wouldn't have got the chance to before? And in my sense, like, I did want to up my skills when it came to, like, social media and marketing anyway. So, yeah, they're offering out free stuff and, like, free courses and things like that. And I thought, actually, it's the time now for me to explore those avenues. And even if I don't understand it, at least I tried. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, rather than just kind of doom and gloom and giving up, I guess, because it's easy to do that.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, like, even like when this is over, I feel like a lot of people, especially for what we were planning, people are definitely going to want to fly away after this is done. Like, the first plane out of here, I am on it.
those plane prices are going to skyrocket. Everyone's going to be on
fire. Like, all those ticket prices are just going to be stupid. I don't think they would be, because they need to make their money back. And they know people don't have money, so they know that loads of people are going to have lost their jobs and stuff. So I don't think that would be stupid to make their prices.
Yeah, make it too high. But I think, because like for me, so I kind of, it's annoying because just before like the corona like outbreak got serious, I was so like, I found my thing, basically found what I loved, and it was traveling and like documenting the travel and stuff like that, and like doing the photography and like behind the scenes kind of stuff. So I was just like, I found my happy place, I found what I love, and then all of a sudden it was like, you won't stay indoors. Okay then. But so it's been hard, like, because I keep looking back through photos that I've taken or like videos that I've done, and I'm just like, and I think especially for you, like looking at your feed and stuff must be like gutting sometimes because you're like,
honestly. Every time I post a picture from Morocco, I'm just crying. Literally, I'm just crying.
Like it's hard, but I think at the same time it's like you've got to try and make positive. Like, there's days that I have where I'm just like, it's over, like I've had enough. But then you kind of, I think for me, kind of not again. Yeah, but for me, it's made me realise like who I want to collaborate with, who I want to work with, who's important to me. Because in this time, a lot of people have tried to pop up who weren't even in my life, and like I think out of boredom. And then other people, you've still got people being rude, you've still got people being disrespectful, you've still got people just being mean. And then you've got people who it's like now, like my friends will FaceTime me, my friends will reach out, and like the people who care about me, genuinely care if I'm okay. And I think this kind of time has allowed me to kind of look back on what I really want to do, where I really want to go, and the people that I want to like kind of collaborate with and do things with.
Yeah, like I've noticed that even with some people I've been shooting a lot and traveling with, that some things that they say are just it's now registered in my head. It's like you actually don't appreciate all this free stuff I've been doing for you. Like, I'm just like, wow. So it's like I'm like proper reassessing who I'll definitely be collaborating with when it comes to like flying out 100%. Like even when this is over anyway, like it's gonna be straight business anyway, rather than the collabs.
Yeah.
Like obviously with what we were planning flying out, like it's literally gonna be majority that. Like if we, and because I think, I don't know if I said it, because I feel like when we were gonna do the Ibiza one, like when we were gonna do the Ibiza one, like I would have done them where I would want, because obviously everything on my page is collabs. Like none of my paid stuff is on my page, because obviously I want my best work to be represented. So it's just like I would have had the models I wanted to collab with maybe come first, like the first 2 days or something, and then the rest of the days would have been obviously the models that were like coming to pay. Do you know what I mean? Like to shoot with us. So that would have probably, but I've got like literally a bunch of big models that I've been obviously talking to. Like when this is over, like my feed is gonna be epic. Like literally epic when this is like. I think I'm gonna have to go to Bali. I'm just gonna try and go to Bali.
I love Bali. Like Bali in LA, like back to LA. But I think, oh, hello.
Should the model choose the location where to shoot or the photographer? What do you think? I know what
obviously I've done both, but I think the photographer should, because obviously like in that sense they kind of know what works, what doesn't. There's some things as well, like so you'll see there are some epic locations that you'll see, and when you actually go to the location it's like, huh? And as a model, sometimes you don't really think about it in that sense. Like you just like, oh yeah, like this looks good, let's shoot here. Because I do when I'm just not good stuff. But as a photographer, you look a little bit deeper into it. So when I'm in photography mode, I'm like, oh my god, there was that thing that's like, it's literally like a tree in like a dump, but it's that tiny bit, that tiny section. If I got the model stood in there, I can make that look really good. And obviously, like you know that can work before, or like the location scouting you might have done. So yeah, it should always, in my opinion, it should be the photographer. I think models should have input of like, so if they kind of suggested a style or an area or something like that, but ultimately the photographer's looking through the lens. They're looking like at the model and like the scenery and stuff. They know what's going to work. Whereas as a model, like if you're stood there, there's no like mirror in front of you. You can't see what they see in the lens. So you've got to trust your photographer in that sense. And I think that's what I would say for location also.
Yeah, I would put it to if it's a paid booking. If for me, if it's paid or not. Like if it's a booking, then if they have somewhere they want to shoot, it's up to them.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can advise it if you know it's a terrible location, or you can say, okay, but this is X, Y, and Z. Why it might come out terrible.
Yeah.
But yeah. Other than that, if it's a collab, then definitely I would definitely suggest where we're shooting.
Yeah.
So yeah, as far as that.
Yeah, I think it's a bit
usually when you hit up a model, you paint the picture, you create, and see what they think. Yeah, I feel that when it's like a collab. But yeah, if I said if someone was paying me, they probably
they might have an idea in mind. I think sometimes it's dependent on the model, because actually they might kind of be like, actually, you're the photographer, like you kind of know what you're doing. Or like I said, they might suggest an area, so it might be, I don't know, like say if it was kind of an LA model that you're going to see, and we're from England, it might be nice for them to suggest like a place that would be cool, or that they've shot before, or like that they've seen, or that they think is right. But I think
that's
in that location.
The location thing for me is the main reason why I stopped shooting in London. It's like there's only like a handful of spots to
Yeah.
shoot in London, and then everybody has the same location. So it's like, it's just, for me, it's when it was literally clockwork. It was like one of 5 locations if it was a booking in London. To this day, I still, if it's a booking, it's one of 5 locations people want to go to.
Yeah.
So it's just like, that's why I just like, it was just boring to me. So I was like, at that point, that's when I like,
You wanted to travel.
I want to make people buy my work away. So that's when I started shooting away the whole of 2019.
Yeah.
And then now people want to buy my packages away rather than, you know what I mean? Like, and to be fair, what I charge in London, you're only paying a couple of £100 more, and then you can get a whole, how many different locations that's going to look 10 times better than, do you know what I mean? Because the thing is, the travel in London is not cheap. If you're going to be shooting for how many hours, you're going to get something to eat as well, which most likely my shoots are going to be in central London. So just like, do you know what I mean? So the food already, that's already what? Travel and food, that's already going to be nearly 30 quid.
Yeah.
And that's coming from my house. That's if you're lucky, depending on where you're coming from. It could be more. So just like, you know what I mean? So now you got to take that out of what? How many hours you've been shooting, and then how many edits. So I mean, so it's like, do you know what I mean? So it's like, that for me was just like I just got bored. I just got too bored of it. I just like, and then it's just like, for a couple £100 more, we might as well go to somewhere sunny and then get much better photos.
Because I feel like that, like when I've been away, like people say that my feed's way better than when I'm back home. So it kind of like adds up. Should you have got a release before you post your work?
Should you have model release before you post your work? I think personally, everyone on every shoot should have a release form. That's my personal opinion. I don't even follow my own rule that I just said. But I've literally, during this lockdown, I've made an actual release form.
Yeah.
Because because I literally had it the other day where a model wanted me to take down some pictures because she has a boyfriend now. Like, I don't care. It's nothing to do with me. Just because you have a boyfriend now, I don't care. Like, just because he's insecure, I don't know. You go to counseling. I don't care. Do you know what I mean? So, like, by law, I own the rights to the pictures, so I can do what I want with them. But just like, I can't be bothered with the hassle of keeping it up there. But now I'm gonna make sure I have every person I shoot. I'm gonna have a release form.
Yeah.
So at that point, it's
whether
you have a boyfriend down the line or not, you've signed it. Do you know what I mean? So I think, and you said before you post. For me personally, I don't post. Oh, the trade for the collabs. I would say yes to that question. So yeah.
I would say yes to it. Like, I've obviously, like, the stuff that I've done usually is client anyway, so we'd have them. But it could be that, like, your model ends up not liking the client, or it could be that actually they've had a falling out with someone within a company that the client's for. So it could be plenty of reasons that they want their pictures not to be associated with that brand anymore. And in that sense, things get like a little bit complicated because people's kind of emotional feelings get in the way of like a collaboration. So in that sense, anyone that I've worked for has usually had the model released for that reason, because obviously someone could just be like, oh, I don't like them anymore, can you get it down? Like, I don't want to be associated with them, just to kind of get one up on the client. So in that sense, we've always had them, just because obviously that's not really business to kind of just take it down.
Do they have any rights though? Because whoever took the photo has the right to use the picture. Regardless if they like, take it down.
So I think it's just because of it's like I've had it before where actually like a model has left a company, and fair enough, like she wasn't happy with the company and how like she kind of left them and all of that jazz. So she was like, I want my stuff removed. But in that sense, she did the images and the videos within her work time for the company. And obviously, like, they didn't have the model release, so actually they didn't have a leg to stand on. And it's whether it's fair or not, like, she had the right to say just take them down. That's the only company that I've worked with that didn't do the model release. But like, I think it's dependent on the company. Like if a company's really big, obviously then, I mean, it is what it is. But if it's a small company or like there's bad blood, then it's not worth it.
See, I relate to this issue right here, right? Because when I was in Morocco,
Yeah.
I basically got arrested when I was in Morocco because we were shooting on royal grounds. Apparently, it was just by some dusty camels. Like it did not look royal to me. But it's in the middle of a flipping desert. Like I don't know how I'm supposed to know. There was no signs by, do you know what I mean, the sand that said that it was royal grounds. But yeah, the police came like permission to shoot. I was like, obviously not. Like we're from London, we don't know. Like, do you know what I mean? We're not doing anything professional. But because obviously I was with models that looked like models, so they obviously thought it was for some big magazine, and we spent 3 hours trying to tell them that we're not. Then we had to all go show our passports. I didn't show my passport, but everyone else has to show their passports, and then they let us out and let me keep the pictures. I'm thinking, so what was all of this for? Like, did they want to get paid off, or?
I don't get this problem ever. I think it's like, so when I've been in LA and things like that, my camera is compact. So it's really discreet. So this is my little blogger baby, and because it's so small, and the lens, even like when it comes out, it's really small, so people can't really tell what I'm doing, or they think I'm just shooting like a travel video for like myself. So because I've had it before where a photographer was using this, and I was clearly like doing modelling and stuff, but because it's so compact, when traveling, people don't say anything. Whereas obviously, if you walk through with something like this, people might be like, okay, clearly you're doing something for like a brand. Like, it's weird. So the bigger the camera, the more stick that you get, I think. But,
my camera's small, but then I have a big lens on it, so it like contradicts everything. Like, flips it.
Like, so if your model is really dressed up, like the stuff that I've done for travel video, people are dressed pretty like normal, standard. So it's like, oh, they're just shooting for like holiday purposes. Like people don't really think it's anything. Whereas if you've got like a full blown like model in like all that modelling gear, and it looks really like professional. Like,
in Morocco.
But yeah, like people like
a big bright red dress on in the middle of the street.
Yeah, it's obviously so,
and she was white. So
yeah, so it's like if it looks fashiony, people kind of stop you and they'll be like, what are you doing? Are you making money from this? I think if they think you're making profit, then you'll get stopped. Whereas actually, people just kind of think, oh, they're doing it for home purposes. Not too bad, like, do you know what I mean? So yeah, if it's difficult.
Yeah, I'm trying to go LA. Well, I was gonna say September, but I don't see that happening.
I know. I wanted to go back in September. Like, I'm missing it like crazy.
I think we're just gonna come off quarantine in around September, but I don't know about the rest of the world.
Yeah, I think as well with like how LA's doing. Like, I've got friends over there, and it seems a little bit like rocky at the moment. So I'm not sure. But obviously, we're in the UK. We're like pretty much locked down. So
the thing is that I wanted to go Italy, which was my number one place to go. Venice is literally my favorite city, and Italy is just the most lockdown ever out of everywhere. Like, you know what I mean? So
it's hard. Like, people are saying realistically travel stuff or whatever at the end of the year to next year, which is gutting for me because like I love going away. Like, absolutely, I think most people love going away. So it's really difficult. But like I said, within this time, I think it's planning it and making it like rather than just a hectic, quick decision. It's kind of making it something proper and something legit, and kind of going from there. Like, and just waiting it out. It breaks my heart to even say it. But yeah, because I mean, right now you can see that I'm making it. I am turning into Casper. Like, I haven't seen sunlight in days. I'm working at my desk. Like, it's awful.
Honestly, I'm trying to get tropical plants to make me feel like I'm in some sort of
But I know I was going to
tropical air, like somewhere. I'm trying to
I
breathe in, like,
would
you know what I
come
mean?
on one walk a day and literally have my sunglasses. I walked out like this, like have my sunglasses on. It is getting bad. Like I keep getting headaches every day because
Yeah, I keep getting headaches, but I keep waking up, having breakfast, and then I'm tired again. Like, like I don't understand why I'm
having that problem. Like they'll get up. So like I set my alarm every single day. I say I make my bed. I have just been lying on it because I was going to watch some TV. But yeah, like I'll make my bed, kind of get everything together, get out of bed. I'm like, right, I'll set myself up for the day. Have my breakfast, and then I'm like, I could nap, you know. It's so hard not to nap. Like I'm
like,
trying my
literally, my body is so stiff. I
I
did some skipping
know.
today. I
Yeah.
felt like I nearly killed myself when I did skipping today, honestly. Like, my body has been out of it. And the thing is, it's only been what, 3 weeks?
Yeah, it's been 3 weeks, but now I think it's getting to the point where I'm like, God, this.
Yeah.
Because at the beginning, so like I said, you have to do good days and bad days, but like yes, so every morning. So I set my alarm for 8 a.m. because I thought that's a decent time to be getting up, and then literally I'll go skipping in the morning, then I'll have my breakfast, then I'll have a coffee. Like I've got like the day set out, but because now it's becoming every single day, I need to switch it up a little bit. Because in the morning I'm like, you're going skipping again, aren't you? Yeah. Is it coffee time? Like it's essential. So what keeps me sane is like me and my friends, and me and my best friend, we've started to literally we'll go for a walk at the same time, almost trying to, depending on when we finish work, but every single day. So we're literally at our front doorstep on the phone, like right, ready, let's go, and then we start walking. And actually, it's really good for my mental health because I'm getting outside, I'm doing my like one walk a day, but I've still got my friend on the phone. We kind of rant and go through things that we're like dealing with or how we're feeling or whatever, and then we'll look back at the phone and we're like, oh, we did like a good walk, and actually I did it on my own. Like I always thought I could do things on my own for some reason until now. So I'm like, I can go outside and walk on my own. Like I was always embarrassed, whereas now I'm like, no, you can't, you got this. Like, come on, go do it on your own. So yeah, it's like
Do you
I
think
think
like
many people grow up like.
photography is like therapeutic in a way?
Yeah, I think because with that, it is literally what my friend was saying it the other day when we did the walk. She was saying, I don't see why I'm not just bringing my camera on. I was like, me too. Like, we should just kind of, when we're doing like the one walk a day or like when you're doing stuff in your garden, just take in like photos or something. And I know it's like, it's a bad time to be documented. Like, it's not a memory you probably want to keep. But at the same time, it's like, you can kind of get creative within this time. I feel like, I mean, there's even like sunsets are still happening. Like, there's loads that you could be doing, like photography wise, and because even collaborating, like you can talk to models the way that we're talking now. You can speak to models like over kind of like Skype and things like that, and set up. I don't know, get an idea of who they are, what they want, like serious collaborations like to be done.
So like, what gear are you using right now to shoot?
So moment. So yeah, like because I'm just indoors.
Back on, hold on.
So we have got.
Yo.
Oh hello. How you doing? So
Sorry to interrupt. What was you talking about?
sharing cameras.
Okay, cool. What you got?
So for work, when it comes, it's dependent on what like somebody wants. So like I said, I've got my camera, but then for works we've got this. So it's the 7070. It's just literally the works camera. And then whenever like, so if I'm vlogging and things like that, which is more so what's happening now, because it would be like vlogging and documenting like I think for girls especially, it's like things like doing your nails still and using like gel nails and things like that, and just kind of like sharing things that we're doing to keep ourselves safe. So in that sense, it is a maybe vlogging camera. So
Are you gonna look into upgrade after this, or
I love this
like
camera.
not that one, like the 77?
I don't know, because so the photography that I do now, like although like when I was in university and stuff, it was very like fashion and like product and things like that. I've found now my love lies in behind the scenes travel and kind of like that area. And in that sense, this does the job. And I think as well the discreetness when it comes to traveling, like this works for me. And
Have you've seen my camera? Like, where is it? Hold on.
yours is quite discreet actually.
It's so long.
It's the lens you put on it that's kind of like the giveaway.
Yeah. Basically.
The actual camera is quite like compact.
Like my actual camera.
Yeah,
It's
it's not.
Like,
It's not.
if I take this off,
It's the lens. Like, because if you put
like it's quite.
yeah, it's not.
It's much smaller than yours. Like
Yeah.
it's actually very tiny.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, it's like that works. So I think for me, like eventually, because it's like it is a money thing as well. So everything that I've got, I've always like in uni and stuff like that. I didn't have as much money as like the other students and things. So I didn't do things on a budget. So it was like the equipment that I have is probably the cheapest, but at the same time, it does the job and does what I need it to do. And if you can prove yourself on the cheapest equipment, like I'd love to see what I can do with the best. So,
But that's the thing. I've been where the so-called best gear was, and I found myself just getting lazy. I
yeah,
had the A7 threes. I've used the A7 R4s. I've had the G Master lenses,
yeah,
and then I just found myself getting lazy. Like when the model was too far, I would just stand still, and then I'd just switch my lens. Yeah, like I just found myself getting lazy. I just thought, no, I need to go back to basics. Then that's when I got the 62, and then I had one lens when I had the 62 for a little bit, and then I got like the 35mm, and then that's when obviously I got back to finding like falling in love with it again, because then I had to use my feet more instead of I couldn't zoom. I had a 35mm lens, that's basically a wide angle lens. So it's like I had to think more than just switching the lens and then standing still and switching it to a zoom lens, which is now I only have my 85, which is a third party lens, which is about £100, $100, and then I have like a 35mm lens, which is 70 quid.
yeah,
And that's where all my pictures are by grab. So that's why I wanted to even make a channel and do videos that show people that you don't need like mad expensive gear to get the top end results. Because I have many videos of my travel pictures that are all taken with a £70 lens.
Yeah. Well, this is it. Like my current camera I use is a Fuji XE3, and most people don't really know what that camera is or use that camera. It came out probably about 2 years ago now, end of 2018, and I got it for 600 quid. But the lenses are good. I use all prime lenses. So I feel like for me, prime lenses I do like that sharpness that you can get from it. But Fuji in particular, I went for because I'm a film enthusiast and I like the analog aesthetic. So from as far as digital goes, Fuji is the closest I can get to that look, and obviously keep down the budget instead of just developing film all the time. But it just comes down to what people's taste is, really. At the end of the day, I think.
I basically I'm with you on the primes until I went to Morocco and I hired Canon 24-70 f2.8 version 2. That lens is so damn clear. Oh my! Like I just saw that picture I put up of Chloe where she had the plant bio cover over her eyes.
Yeah.
That shot, like that's why I cropped it. You can see the skin detail from far away, and that wasn't even a close up shot. I cropped it, and that lens is incredible.
Yeah.
Like that's the only zoom lens I think I've proper fell in love with.
Yeah.
So I probably would get that, or the because that one's like £2,000. So I'd probably get like the first version even.
Nice.
Yeah, this is it. I mean, zoom lenses for Fuji, like they are pretty good as well, but I think, like you say, it just comes down to what people's budget is, doesn't it? You don't want to be spending too much unless you know it's going to work for a particular job. Like I'm an advocate, as if you've got clients that want a particular type of look, then you can always rent out equipment anyway. really, or
But
borrow
that's the thing.
it from friends.
But I think like if you look at, so I always say this example: if you have two Instagrams, right? One person just got their phone, and the other person's got a 1DX Mark. What is there? 1DX Mark 4 now? I don't know how many cameras are out right now, like 1DX Mark 3 or whatever. The most expensive else glass you've got out there, right? Someone's taking pictures with the professional camera in gloomy London. Someone's taking pictures of their phone in Bali. Whose Instagram's gonna get more? Let's say if it's about likes, whose page is gonna get more likes?
Yeah,
Do you get what I'm saying? The person who's got the better location, not the better camera. If someone's got the better thought process of what they're doing,
Yeah.
because again, what I promote on my channel, like you don't need expensive gear. Spend that on a nice location.
Yeah.
You can save £4 on a camera and the lens, and go spend £200 and go get a plane ticket, and then use, you know what I mean, and use your cam and get a better location to take pictures of your models with.
But sometimes it's not even the camera, it's not even the location. Like people fall in love with the actual photographer. Like if the photographer has personality or they're passionate about what they do and they share that, then people actually fall in love with that rather than everything else. Like it's quite strange, but
well, this is it.
He said the RP is slept on big time. It takes some of the best pictures I've ever taken, and I'd agree because Morocco, I'd probably to date some of the best pictures that I've taken on that last trip. That was my last trip. The trip before. I definitely agree on that. I don't know. I don't understand how people are. I think it was slept on because when it came out, people were like, oh, it's not professional. It's missing this, that, and the third. But I'm like, every time when people are very surprised on my Instagram, what am I using? I'm like, the RP. And it's like, what lens are you using? This £70 lens from Amazon. Like I didn't even know the brand. I just wanted a 35mm that was cheap, and I saw that on Amazon. I thought, well, okay, it fits my camera. Let me go and buy it. And then it's worked for me. So boy, I don't see the reason why I need to go buy a £600 Sigma to do the exact same thing. It doesn't make no. Well, yeah, it might be clearer when I zoom in, but who's zooming in on Instagram? It's a 35mm lens. Do you know what I mean? It's not made for zoom.
That's another thing, like you say, it depends on where it's going to be going. If it's going on a website, or is it just for Instagram, or you know what I mean? Like people often overthink and overanalyze equipment rather than think about, look, who's consuming it, how do people consume, why are they consuming it? Do you get what I mean? Like that's what I look at when I'm thinking about just the end result. It's not just like a case of, oh, I've got the best equipment, but like you touched on, Renee, it's also about like building a personality that people can relate to and understand through your content, as opposed to, because I think I've had conversations with photographers sometimes, and they go through so much technical spec and theory, and it's like, but what does that does it add to your end result? If it does, then great. Do you get what I mean?
You know what thing I hate is those spec sheet readers, but mine's got this, that, and the third. Okay, but your pictures are crap. So what are we saying?
Exactly.
So it's just like, I don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense. Like that's why I've kind of stopped watching reviews, and not reviews as such, but like when there's a new camera announcement, like I'm not the first one to jump on it. Like I don't need to. It's just filling your head with jargon you don't need because they're marketing. They just want to make money. So that's why they bring something else out. It's just they just want to make more money. There was nothing wrong with the previous camera. There's people that I know that are still shooting on a flipping. I feel there's people that are still shooting on a Nikon D700. Like there's literally, I know people that shot on shooting on D700. The detail that this guy's getting out of his work is ridiculous. That's a Nikon D700. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like there's a lot of people that just like gear happy.
Yeah, exactly.
And I know some people, one photographer, he put a valid point in. Is like he does get new gear because it keeps value. So like when he wants to resell or wants to get a new lens, he will have like, do you know what I mean, like gear to that you have gear to resell basically to get more gear on top of that. But I don't know. For me, I think where my system now, probably I'm gonna stick with it. Right, for I don't know, for the foreseeable future anyway.
Yeah. Well, guys, I've got a shoot, so Even you're
Okay.
doing it.
Everyone's
I
leaving.
missed so much. I missed so much. Like that was a good half an hour where I was eating and everything. But no, it's been good to meet you, and we'll definitely do this again soon. I'm literally in the process of. I'll show you guys before you go. Yeah, so he's going to go to bed anytime soon now as well. But no, let's continue to do this as much as we can anyway.
Defo.
And yeah, I'll find you on social media as well, Renee. After I put them.
Hey, before you go, Renee, Photo Me Hack said, "Who's the baddie though?"
Sorry?
He's always trying to get my models from the UK. Do you know what I mean? But he's not qualified. Not qualified to be shooting. Your fee's $1,000 starting for half an hour.
Guys, come on. I can get. Right, peace out.
All right, take care. What did I miss? What was you guys talking about?
There were a couple questions. Let me scroll up. Where was it? This one here. What do you think though? Should the model choose the location, where to shoot, or the photographer?
Depends, really. I mean, obviously, if it's a client, I'd like to think they have an idea of where they want to shoot. If it's a collab, then I think it's just a discussion you have, isn't it? Really, like a lot of times for me, when I approach a model, I already have in mind an aesthetic of what I want to achieve. So yes. I'll touch upon it with them and see kind of if that is something that works within what they appreciate. That's how I tend to do it personally, because obviously if it's a mutual gain from a collab, I want to make sure it fits my brand. But from a client point of view, I think it's always nice when they've got an idea of what they want to achieve and how they want it to be. Because otherwise, I feel like I'm actually not just a photographer at that point. I'm creative directing as well. If I'm having to pick location, if I'm having to style or think about colors, do you know what I mean? If I'm having to source a makeup artist or a stylist, that type of thing, then I start to feel more like a creative director as opposed to the photographer role. So it kind of means that I'm having to look at the way in which it's going to be suitable for me in the long term. Like they could have a great budget, but if it's not aesthetically even somewhat what I like doing, then that's when I'm kind of thinking, well, they've not really thought about what they want to do. And I just prefer like people having an idea of roughly what they want to do and working with me.
Because I responded saying it sort of depends if it's like a paid shoot and they say they want their shoot done here, then obviously it's much they're paying for it, so they can obviously decide if they want to decide.
Yeah, exactly.
If it's a collab, then it's definitely most of the time it's gonna be me. Like it's gonna be it's gonna be me. There was another one. Where was it? This one. Model release.
Before you post your TFP work. It's interesting, that question, because I'd love to say that I do that, but I don't always do that. I think you should, but sometimes again, it's that thing of some things like that. I suppose it's more about approach. If you approach people in the correct way and you manage people's expectations early, then yes, definitely do that. But then sometimes it can come across a bit too formal if you've only just started having a conversation with someone and then you're already mentioning like model release forms. I think it's just about approach, like when to have that conversation with people. And then, yeah, something that personally I should be maybe doing more, to be fair.
I literally agree with that. I think every shoot should have a release form. And why I've literally, during the lockdown, I've made my own literally template for my release forms now. And going forward after this, I'm literally not going to do a shoot without getting it signed, because even literally the other day, I had the model ask me not to post certain pictures and to take them down because she has a boyfriend now. That's not my concern. If she has a boyfriend or not, like I don't care. Like if you have a boyfriend, if you have an insecure boyfriend now as well, on top of that, that's not something I should be having to worry about.
No.
Obviously, I don't want the hassle. So at the end of the day, so just like now, to avoid all of that, I'm going to literally like I'm not gonna do a shoot without getting the model release done.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I hear you. Definitely something from a point of discipline that I should be practicing more, to be honest with you. I think, like you say, it just comes down to like the relationship you have with each person you're working with, or each kind of group of people you're working with, really, as well. But ultimately, yeah, for any professional job, definitely need to have it. And I'd say things like working with an agency, or if you get that inkling, then definitely you need to have some sort of legitimacy in place, like a model release form, I'd say, yeah. But
Because I
wow,
used to
I'm
get
starting to preach.
issues with I used to get issues like that more when the models were just starting out, sort of thing. Like the models were new, and
Mm,
then they would do a shoot, and then like a couple of weeks later, there would all be some sort of issue. But as I obviously work now with bigger models, it's their job, so it's like I don't really come into issues anymore. But
I get it.
still, just to have that there rather than not, just so do you know what I mean? Just in case you use it for a banner or I don't know, you get a billboard one day, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, I don't want my picture used on a billboard. And
Yeah,
you have a release side. I don't know what you're going to do. Tell them to take down the billboard. Do you know what I mean? So it's like,
yeah.
just to have that, just to have that there, I would say is, I would advise everyone to sort of get a model release done.
I think it's just that whole thing of creating clarity as well, so people understand, like, look, this is what you're using it for, so they get it. Do you know what I mean?
What do you think of me? I said, bring the waking up. Listen, do you know what? I've had the most awkward shoot one time in a hotel, right? The girl wanted to shoot with me, right? And then she turned up, and then the boyfriend was next to her. I was like, it's awkward. I was like, you can't just turn up with someone and not say, and even if it was another person, another girl, do you know what I mean? Like, you
Yeah.
can't just turn up. It's like it's literally so awkward. And then the boyfriend was there, and the thing is, it was a nude shoot as well. Like it was a
Oh
nude shoot.
wow.
So I'm like, your boyfriend's chilling behind me while I'm shooting you. Like it's just the most awkward thing
That is
ever.
odd.
That's what I'm saying. It was so weird.
Was
It
was
was
was he
so weird.
talkative? Did he have like an open conversation? What did he make you feel like? Did he talk to you much, or was he quite a closed individual? Like,
He seemed pretty. I mean, he didn't seem like not shy, but he wasn't really saying much. Like I was making
that makes it
conversation.
that makes it harder because then you don't even
That's what I'm saying.
know
Like
where
it
he
was
feels
start making
comfortable.
conversation with him, and it's when like she would go get changed or something. So, but it was just a whole weird situation. It's
That
like
is mad weird because
but you
like
know what it says to me? It seems to me that you don't trust the photographer.
yeah, I hear
That's
that.
what
I hear that.
that's what it's screaming to me that you don't
Mm,
trust the photographer. Someone just like, and then I don't know. It's just a weird. Like I wouldn't have mind if you told me beforehand, but the
mm.
fact you've just done it, you're just like, yeah, it's a blacklist for me.
Yeah, that don't make no
And
sense.
then she got weird after anyway, so I just it was just she photoshopped the hell out of her flipping um with the face tune, sorry. She
Oh
face
god,
tuned the hell out of her. The thing is, it's weird because I post the original picture and then you've posted the face tune picture. People can see the difference.
yeah,
You're not fooling anybody.
I know. I don't know why people do that, but then that's another story, mate. Like all I can say with that is, even clients, I'm going to be very reluctant to give them stuff if I feel that it's going to be a case they're going to be face tuning and just going over and beyond to just create something that, to me, it's like if you're going to be doing that, I need to know in advance. Plus, I don't need to be associated with it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's your imagery at the end of the day, isn't it?
Mm.
But yeah, there's been one or two kind of exceptions where I've had to let it happen. And to be fair, it's not killed my brand or anything. So, but I'm not a big fan of that personally. Like the whole Photoshop. Well, Photoshop, yeah, but don't fake it. You know what I mean? Don't
Only
make it look like absolutely like that is not real.
Yeah, like I haven't personally photoshopped anyone's body on my page,
Mm.
but I know there's been times where I've given them the edits and then they face tune their body. But those are obviously people I don't work with again. I just can't,
Yeah,
I can't bother to argue with you because obviously it's an insecurity why you're face tuning. I wouldn't have, if I thought you didn't have a body, you wouldn't have shot in the first place. So it doesn't make
mm.
any sense. Do you know what I mean? It's proper weird. But we got a question. Can we get a dub of your form? I'll put up like a screenshot at some point of what my forms consisted of. It's basically more a form's more of your terms and conditions, really, like what you want from the form. Like my
Mm.
form, I don't want anyone. My rules basically, I don't want anyone tagging brands in my pictures because models tagging brands in their pictures gives authorization for the brand to repost it, and
Mm.
obviously the brand are not paying me for that. So when it's that's sort of my big issue is brands reusing images and not crediting photographers or paying them even. So I put that definitely in there,
Yeah, that
and
makes sense.
a bunch of other stuff. But yeah, I'll put a screenshot of mine so you guys can get a sort of idea.
Mm.
You got when I shoot at With Hot Springs, her boyfriend was there while I was shooting at her bars naked. He even helped me film doodles, man. That's if you get a
Yeah,
cool one, that's fine.
yeah,
But
that's
we're in London. It doesn't. It's not as accepted to do these kind of shoots in London as it is over there in the US. It's completely different.
mm.
Like
There's
especially
attitude
like
here, I think, as well. Like they're more like polite, but then they're not necessarily as like energetic and happy about certain
yeah,
things. Like it's rare to find people who feel comfortable within
like
themselves and then
where
therefore have a partner who feel comfortable with
yeah,
themselves.
like our community and where we're from, there's one out of 1,000 boyfriends are going to be supportive like that in London. Like it's just not. Like it's just not. Yeah, I don't know. It's a different scene over
Mm.
here. This is why we don't get many even of women of color doing my sort of shoots even,
Yeah, it's
which is
true.
very
True.
hard to get someone to do an implied shoot, just basic lingerie, like even of women of color in London, but still very taboo in the black community to be.
Yeah, it's true.
But then they'll go to flipping carnival and skin out. So I don't. It makes no sense to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about, Kareem? We've all
Yeah,
been at the carnival, man. That's like the skankiest place ever. But yeah, everyone goes to that, but no one wants to do a lingerie photo shoot.
yeah. It's an interesting culture we've got here. To be fair.
Exactly. It's so backwards. He said, yeah, didn't know. Yeah, the brand thing is I've literally had um Levi's, Boohoo, not me. This is a photographer I know. He literally had Boohoo, Levi's, and another brand. Big brands. These are use his photos on their Instagram page. Didn't credit him. So
Yeah.
it's a common thing that happens. I'm not sure if that happens a lot in the US or anywhere else, but in London it's a big thing. Like I have a lot of brands I didn't even know that follow me, and then what they try and do is they sort of reach out to the models that I follow, and then they'll send them stuff. So when they go abroad with me, they'll have, do you know what I mean? They'll have stuff that they think I'm going to shoot in. But all the promo stuff, I will tell the models to do that on their phone, do that with phone
Yeah.
pictures. And so, because if I'm not getting paid for it, why am I going to give a brand professional photos to put on their gram to sell to make money, and then when doesn't paid or even mentioned in the caption for at minimum, they'd even have the
Yeah, it's
decency
deep
to do
value in
that.
your brand. That is. That's the thing. If that happens, isn't it? That's you have to protect it at all costs, really.
Um, think if there was any more questions up here.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go in a minute anyway, because my baby's just gone to sleep now. Although he's asleep with his eyes open. A bit weird, but yeah.
Well, we've been going for like an hour and 15 now anyway. So yeah.
That's good, man. That's good.
So we can end it here.
Alright, bro.
Be back. I don't know. I know we can be back in the next couple of days or something like that.
Let's try to do it. Let's try to do it. Like
Yeah.
a weekly thing.
We ain't going nowhere.
No, this is it. All the time.
So we got time. But yeah, guys, like and subscribe. Follow my account if you're not already. Follow Kareem's up on the screen there as well. Check his work out. And yeah, we'll catch you guys next time.
Yeah, thank you for checking in, everyone. All right, take care.